I never thought I'd applaud my husband for going to therapy, until I discovered his shrink was really his secret fiancée rehearsing honeymoon vows on our dime. I'm Riley Morgan, 31, senior copywriter for a health tech startup in Seattle and proud collector of indoor plants I keep forgetting to water. My husband, Jonah, is 33, a regional sales lead at a cybersecurity firm. He's the polished type who color codes Google Calendar invites and says, "Circle back" in casual conversation. We met in the snack aisle of a Trader Joe's 5 years ago when he apologized for taking the last everything bagel seasoning and offered me half the jar. I thought, if this man's willing to split spices, he'll split the emotional load. Spoiler, spices yes, emotional load no. For the first 3 years we were couple goals on Instagram, weekend hikes, sourdough experiments during lockdown, dual-monitor home offices we jokingly called Morgan and Morgan, LLP, love, life, productivity. But last winter everything got glitchy. Jonah started crashing on deadlines, snapping at DoorDash drivers, disappearing into the garage for meditation calls. When I suggested couples therapy, he winced like I'd spilled coffee on his MacBook. I'm fine, Riley. I just need stress management, not a referee. Fast forward to April. I'm nursing a cold brew at 7 a.m. when Jonah appears in athleisure and announces he's booked one-on-one virtual therapy with Dr. Serena Lane, PsyD, licensing displayed on her site, sliding scale rates, glowing Yelp reviews. My heart does a hopeful little drum solo. He even shares his telehealth link, saying, "Transparency, babe." I drop a heart emoji in our shared calendar and picture healed communication blooming like my half-dead pothos. First 3 sessions, miraculous. Jonah emerges smiling, hugs me, unloads the dishwasher unprompted. He quotes Dr. Serena, "Men weaponize confusion, clarity is kindness." I swoon. He starts journaling gratitude lists, leaves post-it affirmations on my laptop. "You're the best plot twist in my story." Friends envy our comeback arc. Looking back now, I see the first red flag waving like a bullfighter on caffeine. Dr. Serena never billed our insurance, insisting on PayPal transfers labeled consulting. Jonah claimed it saved paperwork. I shrugged. Health tech startups spoil you with weird invoices. The second flag appeared on a Friday night in June. We're hosting our quarterly taco and trivia hangout over Zoom, pandemic tradition we kept alive. Jonah excuses himself, saying Dr. Serena squeezes in emergency mindfulness. When he returns, his hair's styled, and he smells like the cologne he saves for conferences. My best friend Harper messages privately, "Did he just get back from date night?" I type, "Therapy glow?" We laugh, move on. July brings a bigger glitch. I'm quality assuring website copy when Chase Bank pings. "Large PayPal payment $1,900, do you recognize?" The memo reads Lane Productions LLC. Productions, I Google nothing. Jonah insists Dr. Serena, upgrading him to an 8-week immersive healing program with filmed role-play exercises. Sounds legit but pricey. Still, he looks lighter, jokes return, so I bite my tongue and pivot back to overdue succulents. Enter August, the month everything combusts. I'm freelancing from the couch, half listening to Jonah's therapy session echoing through the office door. Usually he wears noise-canceling headphones, but today his Bluetooth apparently disconnects. Serena's voice floats out, young, breathy, more rom-com heroine than clinical psychologist. "Serena, okay babe, let's practice the Tuscany proposal again but slower." Jonah, soft laugh I haven't heard in months. Right, the kneel, then the ring, then, "Serena, you're my North Star." Serena giggles, "You forgot forever muse." Jonah, take 2, "Serena, you're my forever muse. Will you marry me?" My brain freezes like a browser crash. Proposal rehearsal, Tuscany. I creep to the door, heart jackhammering. Jonah's voice turns business brisk. "Hold up, Riley's home, mooting." Click, silence. I stand there clutching my coffee mug so tight the ceramic squeaks. A minute later, Jonah exits, feigning stretch. Session was intense, inner child work. His eyes slide past mine toward the kitchen. Fight or flight surges, but I choose not now. I'll gather data. That night I can't sleep. At 2 a.m. I grab my laptop, deep dive Dr. Serena Lane. Website polished, yet domain registered only 5 months ago. No state license lookup matches. LinkedIn shows one connection, Lane Productions LLC, a boutique media agency in LA specializing in immersive role-play coaching for influencers. Photos depict Serena, Same hair, Hollywood lighting, posing with ring lights, not stethoscopes. My stomach flips, I click clients. Up pops Jonah's corporate headshot under TSDM1ALS. Serena prepped me for the next chapter of love. Timestamp 2 weeks ago. Next chapter with whom? Still, I need airtight proof. I fire up Jonah's old iPad linked to our shared Apple ID, forgotten in a drawer. Messages sync slowly, reveal a hidden chain under contact. Dr. S. My pulse roars. Jonah, flights booked, meet me SFO Sep 10. Our story begins IRL. Serena, can't wait to be officially yours after the papers. Jonah, therapy narratives working. She suggested trial separation. Serena, remember to Venmo deposit for videographer. Tuscany packages fill fast. Tuscany packages, videographer, IRL. My throat dries to glass shards. The man I coaxed into therapy hired an actress to cosplay psychologist, groom me for divorce, and rehearse proposal lines. It's so cartoonish I almost laugh, but tears jam the exit. Looking back now, I see the crossroads: scream cry confrontation or chessboard revenge. My copywriter brain chooses story architecture. Every good brand reveal needs a live launch. At dawn I text Harper, former event planner, need clandestine Zoom stage tonight. You in? She replies in 0.3 seconds. For drama, always. I spend the day collecting puzzle pieces. Bank statements prove payments to Lane Productions. Jonah's Slack status reads, Dr. Time brain at 4 p.m. Perfect. Harper builds a Zoom link disguised as employee support group on burnout, invites Jonah's entire sales division plus HR, they love optional wellness workshops. She lists Dr. Serena as guest speaker, public link Jonah's can't resist. 6:55 p.m. I position laptop in our home office, ring light on, Zoom open under alias concerned spouse 1. Participants flood, HR manager Donna, 6 reps, 2 interns munching chips. Jonah logs in, username ontimecole. Last square. Serena Lane, hair curled, white coat over lace top, virtual background of bookshelves. Donna greets, welcome to our mental health break. Dr. Lane will share relationship-centered stress hacks. Serena smiles, honey sweet. Thank you, Donna. I'm thrilled to help. I click share screen, window titled Therapy or Theater. Serena jolts, Jonah's face drains. On screen, her LLC website, testimonial with Jonah's photo, PayPal receipts, WhatsApp proposal rehearsal audio. Chat erupts. HR Donna mutters, is this compliance approved? Serena stammers. I unmute, camera on, gasps ripple. Hi team, I'm Riley, Jonah's actual wife. Tonight's hack, identify red flags like hearing an actor to fake therapy. I drop final slide. Tuscany itinerary with Serena listed Ms. Cole. Jonah blurts, Riley, we can discuss. HR Donna interrupts. Mr. Cole, end call, will follow up. Participants exit faster than toddlers from broccoli dinner. Serena vanishes. Jonah freezes, then logs off. I sit in ringing silence, adrenaline thrumming. Harper texts, holy plot twist, woman. I exhale shakily, but the night isn't over. I cue screen recordings to cloud. Evidence secured. Downstairs, Jonah stands by the fridge, eyes wide. Riley, you ambushed my coworkers. I steady my voice. You ambushed our marriage with a B-list fiancé in a lab coat. He sputters, it wasn't physical, just emotional planning. My laugh breaks brittle. Therapy for divorce rehearsal. Innovative. I walk past him, grab spare blanket, head for guest room. Before shutting door I state, tomorrow HR will need statements. I'm giving them the raw cut. Door clicks, tears finally flood, but anger keeps me anchored. I open Notes app, divorce launch roadmap. Bullet 1, contact lawyer. Bullet 2, viral PSA, how to verify your therapist. Bullet 3, donate Serena fee refunds to mental health nonprofits. Bullet 4, buy new plant, symbolic fresh start, and remember to water it. I fall asleep clutching phone like a lifeline, knowing part 2 of this story begins at sunrise, when lies face litigation and I draft captions that turn betrayal into broadcast. And that, self-care squad, is how a fake shrink became the cautionary tale my followers never knew they needed. I woke to 3 missed calls from Jonah and 1 polite voicemail from Donna in HR. Hi Riley, whenever you're ready, we'd appreciate your timeline and any documentation you shared last night. The corporate machine already had its teeth in the story. Good. Let it grind him for a change. My phone battery sat at 11%, same as my remaining patience, so I plugged in, brewed jet fuel coffee, and opened my laptop. Step 1 on the divorce launch roadmap: find a lawyer fluent in both family law and viral media whiplash. I Googled Seattle lawyer influencer scandal therapist and landed on Maya Chen, Esquire, tagline, because receipts belong in court, not just TikTok. Her assistant squeezed me in for a noon Zoom consult. Still wearing pajama bottoms, I threw on a blazer, Zoom mullet chic, and drafted a tight chronology for HR, dates, payments, fake therapy transcripts, Tuscany itinerary. I kept adjectives out, verbs did the stabbing. Hit send. Within minutes, Donna replied thanking me for the comprehensive evidence and attaching a confidential disciplinary process PDF. Bureaucracy never sleeps. At 10 a.m., Jonah finally cracked the silence with a text wall. Riley, please talk. Serena fooled me too. I didn't know her license was fake until last week. I panicked because HR might terminate me for conflict of interest. I love you, let's repair offline. The word love looked ridiculous squeezed between excuses, like lipstick on a mugshot. I typed, deleted, then settled on. My lawyer will contact you by end of day. All conversations through counsel. I tapped deliver quietly so future pings wouldn't break my focus. Maya Chen appeared on screen precisely at noon, red lipstick, tortoiseshell glasses, no nonsense. I summarized. She nodded, took notes, then asked the question I dodged all morning. Riley, besides divorce, what outcome feels just? I stared at my thumbnails of evidence. I want him professionally accountable, I want her publicly accountable, and I want people to know therapy imposters exist. Maya's lips curved. Legal, ethical, reputational, triple threat justice. We can send Jonah a separation proposal and notify the state psychologist board about Serena. As for public awareness, that's your arena, just avoid defamation. Truth is the best shade. Before hanging up, she offered one more gem. Pain's expensive. Make sure you invoice it. Laptop closed, I heard the garage door. Jonah was home. I grabbed my phone's front camera as makeshift mirror, deep breaths, no mascara streaks, and walked downstairs. He stood by the kitchen island, overnight bag dangling like a guilty flag. The orchid I'd forgotten to water drooped behind him, ironic prop. Riley, he began, voice hoarse, I'm so sore. I lifted a hand. Stop. HR has my statement. You'll get Maya's paperwork by 5. Until then, pack essentials and book an Airbnb. His shoulders sagged. I deserve that, but Serena lied to me too. I arched a brow. Really? Because your texts read like a screenplay you co-wrote. He flinched. I thought role-play therapy might rekindle us. It spiraled. She pushed for real feelings. I was confused. Confused is forgetting an anniversary, I shot back, not planning a Tuscan elopement. His eyes watered. I felt nothing. I'll leave, he whispered. But will you at least read my apology letter? He slid an envelope toward me. I didn't pick it up. Later, door now. He swallowed, grabbed keys, left. The door clicked, silence swooped in. My legs trembled with post-adrenaline fatigue. I collapsed onto barstool, tearing open the envelope despite myself. Inside, handwritten pages plus a USB labeled therapy recordings. A sticky note read, see minute 27, proof she crossed lines first. I tucked it in a drawer, evidence for Maya. By 3 p.m., my HR document email leaked, an anonymous Reddit post on our best of legal advice sharing excerpts. My name was censored, but the story screamed recognizable. Sales bro hires fake therapist fiancé, wife nukes Zoom. Comments exploded. Thousands of upvotes, amateur sleuths hunting identities. I DM'd the mod, confirmed authenticity, asked to pin resources on finding licensed therapists. They agreed. At least the circus might save someone else. 4 p.m. FaceTime rang. Harper plus my younger brother Leo, a cybersecurity nerd. They'd teamed up. Leo showed a spreadsheet of Lane Productions clients. He'd scraped PayPal IDs linked to her email. Dozens of men, some from Jonah's company, marked role-play coaching. Harper smirked. What if we organize a group chat of her ex-clients for a class action? I whistled. Slow down, Aaron Berkovich. Legal first, content second. Still, the idea glowed. Moral revanche wasn't just personal, it was communal. Dinner alone tasted metallic. I tried watering the drooping orchid too late. I snapped a photo anyway. Wilted bloom, caption draft. Lesson: nurture things before they collapse or buy new soil. Save to drafts. At 7 p.m., Maya emailed separation terms. I keep condo, 60% savings. He covers attorney fees, immediate cease contact. I sighed relief. 10 minutes later, Harper texted, "Girl, Serena just went IG live claiming she's being cyberbullied by a jealous spouse." 4K viewers. Rage surged. I opened the stream. Serena in ring light tears, wearing another white coat. She sobbed about defamation, insisted she held a European coaching certificate, said some women weaponize social media to hide their own infidelities. Comments split. Simps, skeptics. I hit record on screen, preserved every lie. Then inspiration struck, a public rebuttal session, my earlier fantasy Zoom, but bigger. I messaged Harper and Leo. Plan B: tomorrow night we host a Zoom titled Therapy Truth Panel, verifying your mental health providers. I'd invite Serena publicly, so refusal looks bad, Jonah's HR team, and Every Lane Productions, client Leo identified. We'd have a licensed psychologist fact-check credentials live. Harper cheered. A masterclass in ethical exposure. That night, I drafted a polite IG story tag. At Serena Lane's ID, I hear you value transparency. Join my open panel tomorrow 8 p.m. PST. A board-certified therapist will moderate. Link in bio. I posted. Views skyrocketed. Serena left it on scene. By midnight, registrations hit 1,200. Journalists, HR folks, therapy talk influencers. Anxiety ping-ponged in my chest, public events court disaster, but purpose steadied me. I wrote talking points. Licensing lookup demo, red flag payment methods, Jonah's anonymized case study, names for HR eyes only. I practiced lines in mirror, plant graveyard backdrop. At 2 a.m., a final notification. Jonah transferred $15,000 titled restitution. I forwarded to Maya, then to Harper, donation fund. Sleep arrived in fragments. Dreamt Serena handed Jonah a stethoscope ring, while my orchids bloomed venomous. Morning, Maya approved panel, reminded me defamation equals false statement. Stick to receipts, not insults. Noted. I filmed a teaser reel in daylight, no makeup but strong coffee energy. Tonight we separate real therapy from roleplay scams. If you booked an online shrink during lockdown, you need these tips. Caption: therapy or theater Zoom receipts. Posted. Within an hour, Good Morning America producer DM'd. Noon, HR Donna emailed, formally suspending Jonah pending investigation outcome. Relief mixed with sorrow, he was still the man who shared bagel seasoning once. I acknowledged the ache, then refocused on slides. 5 p.m. tech check. Licensed psychologist Dr. Morales joined early, all calm professionalism. She previewed Serena's credentials slide blank. If she shows, we'll verify in real time, Morales said, eyes glittering. 7:59 p.m. Zoom participants flooding. I hit admit. Tiles filled. Ex-clients, curious strangers, HR avatars. Serena's name appeared but never connected audio. Lurking? Good. Jonah joined, screen off, likely from Airbnb. Media outlets spotted in corner names. I opened, steady breath. Hi, I'm Riley. I believed I sent my husband to therapy. Instead, I uncovered an unlicensed role-play coach charging medical rate fees. Tonight is about education, not humiliation, though truth might sting. Dr. Morales walked viewers through license lookup. She typed Serena's claimed number invalid. The chat gasped. A former client unmuted, admitted he'd spent $8K on confidence sessions. More came forward. HR Donna requested transcript. Serena bilayed, her square vanished. Then I played Jonah's rehearsal audio, faces stunned. Dr. Morales closed. Therapy is protected space, not a stage. Verify always. I ended with donation link to National Alliance on Mental Illness. Pledges poured. After the call, my phone buzzed nonstop. Serena's IG deleted, Lane Productions site offline. Jonah texted, "You've destroyed her." I replied, "No," she pressed self-destruct. Midnight, I slid the wilted orchid into trash. Open drafts, posted the photo. Caption: some plants don't revive, use the pot for fresh roots. Like sword, peace blossomed. Tomorrow would bring lawyers, headlines, maybe more trolls. But tonight, wrapped in blanket on lounge chair, I felt lighter than any therapy session Jonah ever faked. Because vengeance isn't always a scream. Sometimes it's a webinar with receipts and a donate button, turning one person's lie into a lesson for thousands. And that, self-care squad, is where Act 2 ends. Right before the settlement offers start raining, and I figure out which plants to buy for my new, scam-free life. TikTok says revenge tastes best in 15 seconds, but the morning after my therapy or theater panel, I learned true payback takes exactly 8 hours. The time it takes for a takedown request to ricochet across the internet and bounce straight back like a cursed boomerang. At 6:07 a.m., my phone battery hit 100% just as an email from Instagram Legal popped up. Content removal notice, privacy violation. Overnight, Serena had filed to strike the panel highlights I'd posted. 2 clicks later, my reel, a polished 60-second recap of license lookups and red flag PayPal screenshots, was gone, replaced by a gray tile that read content unavailable. Underneath, thousands of comments argued with a ghost. Anger fizzed, but panic crept in behind it. Serena was down, yet not out. I DM'd Powell. She's playing whack-a-mole with copyright claims. Powell's reply was surgical. Counter notice filed. Also filed motion for declaratory relief. She can't hide behind false takedowns. While Powell worked lawyer sorcery, I scrolled Twitter. Therapy or theater trended at 6 overnight, but by sunrise a new hashtag clawed upward, shrinkshamegate. Memes divided. Some crowned me whistleblower queen, others called me clout chaser ruining alternative wellness. A verified blue-check therapist tweeted, unlicensed coaching masquerading as psychotherapy is fraud. At Riley Wrights did public a favor. But 3 tweets down, an influencer with rainbow braids fired back, gatekeeping mental health is ableist. Let coaches coach? Retweets soared. In 24 hours, I'd become both Joan of Arc and Karen of cancel culture, depending on your algorithm bubble. My chest tightened. I'd wanted education, not digital civil war. HR's second strike. At 8:30 a.m., Donna from HR pinged. They'd completed preliminary investigation. Jonah suspended without pay pending final decision. Serena banned from corporate vendors list. All employees urged to verify providers via an intranet tool ironically named TRUC. Donna thanked me again and dropped a HR grenade. FYI, Ms. Lane issued a cease and desist to Syntegrity Soft, claiming the Zoom recording violated her likeness rights. Legal will coordinate with your counsel. Serena's strategy was obvious. If she couldn't erase receipts, she'd scare the company into silencing me. I forwarded email to Powell, then slammed laptop shut. Self-care or something like it. Dr. Lee had warned about crisis whiplash. After you swing the hammer, expect shards. I needed air, not pixel dust, so I laced sneakers for a run along Alki Beach. Gray Puget Sound matched my mood, chaotic gulls screeched like Twitter threads. Half-mile in, a woman jogged beside me, earbuds yanked. Are you the therapy panel girl? She puffed. I braced for attack. She flashed a thumbs up. Dumped my scam energy healer after your Zoom. Thank you. Then she sprinted ahead. Buoyed, I finished 5 miles, though my legs felt like overboiled spaghetti by the end. Back home, voicemail awaited from Good Morning America Booker again. Their angle now. When exposés backfire, women caught between activism and cancel culture. I said maybe later. I needed my own narrative before letting morning TV remix it. Enter the influencer backlash. At noon, Harper burst in waving her phone. Look what Serena posted on her alt TikTok. We huddled over the screen. Serena, puffy-eyed but glam, claimed she had never presented herself as a licensed psychologist. Clients misinterpreted. She insinuated that Jonah fabricated the Tuscan plan to trap her. She ended with a tearful plea. Women should empower women, not destroy their businesses. View count, 1.1 million in 2 hours. Harper growled. She just turned herself into the underdog. Worse, Jonah's college friend Jard posted a Facebook rant. Riley publicly humiliated a man who tried private help. Not okay. Commenters flocked. Workplace bros claiming Jonah was manipulated by a femme fatale coach. That narrative spread faster than accurate timelines. My stomach twisted. Harper squeezed my shoulder. Remember, truth plus time beats spin. Let's update receipts. Receipts re-upload. We scheduled a YouTube premiere, my full-screen recording of the Zoom, faces of vulnerable employees blurred, Serena's lies intact. Powell vetted the cut, inserted disclaimers, educational fair use and personal data redacted. Title, full context, the Zoom that exposed a fake therapist. Hook line in description, judge for yourself before you retweet the remix. Premiere countdown chat filled with popcorn emojis. I hid behind my screen, heart pounding as views leapt. 10K, 50K, 120K. Comments sentiment swung back. She literally wears a lab coat. Jonah kneeling like the Bachelor killed me. Public sympathy recalibrated. But the twist wasn't over. Serena strikes offline. That evening, I picked up unknown call, expecting a reporter, and nearly dropped the phone. A male voice said, "Ms. Morgan, this is Officer Reyes, Seattle PD. We need to speak about a harassment complaint filed by Ms. Serena Lane alleging unauthorized distribution of her medical images." My throat closed. "Police?" Reyes continued, "Your YouTube video triggered the complaint. We're obliged to follow up." Powell jumped on speaker. Calm and lethal, she cited Washington's anti-SLAPP statute. The officer softened, clearly a formality. After 20 minutes, he agreed no crime committed, civil dispute at best. Still, Serena escalated from platform claims to police reports. I ended call trembling. Harper paced, "She's trying to intimidate you offline." Jonah's desperation email. As if on cue, inbox dinged, subject, "I never wanted this." Jonah's email copy. Serena, gone nuclear. "HR might fire me. Please issue a statement clarifying she isn't entirely at fault. I'll sign any divorce terms." My anger flared, then fizzled into pity. He was drowning in chaos he created. I forwarded email to Powell with 3 words, "Handle in settlement." The class action spark. Leo texted, "We're at 36 ex-clients ready to sue Serena for fraud." "Lawyer?" I forwarded to Maya. Her reply, "Class action viable, potentially multi-state. You'll be key witness. Interested." The idea of spending months in depositions sounded exhausting, yet the chance to set precedent against therapy scams ignited purpose. I typed, "Yes, start paperwork." Final straw, the sponsor fallout. Next morning, my inbox spat a letter from a wellness brand I sometimes partner with, suspending collaboration, pending resolution of public controversy. Income mattered, bills didn't pause for activism. Tears pricked. Was truth worth the collateral damage? Dr. Lee fit me in for emergency session. I spilled fear of being internet's villain of the week, of partner deals drying, of lawsuits overshadowing mental health message. She listened, eyes kind. "You're experiencing narrative fatigue. When your story is everybody's clickbait, reclaim authorship. What's one boundary you can set today?" I breathed, silence for 48 hours. Let the receipts speak without me. Radio silence and rise. I posted a single story, taking a weekend offline. Reach fact sources, not rumor mills. Dove then I log out locked every app. Harper confiscated my phone. We drove to Mount Rainier, hiked until quads screamed, spoke about anything but Serena. She taught me how to breathe mountain air without hashtags. 48 hours later, I returned to Wi-Fi purgatory. Notifications insane, yet something shifted. Mainstream outlets now ran pieces on fake therapy scams, citing the full Zoom. A BuzzFeed headline read, "She turned her husband's affair coach into a viral cautionary tale. Here, how to vet your shrink." Wellness brand emailed apology, reinstated sponsorship, given new information. Serena, her accounts vanished. Rumor, flew to Costa Rica for a silent retreat rebrand. Donna emailed final HR report. Jonah terminated for ethics violations, severance revoked. And Powell secured a settlement. He ceded condo, paid my legal costs, plus monthly restitution for Safe Minds mental health charity. I wanted to gloat, but mostly felt tired. Triumph looked less like fireworks, more like a stable pulse. Orchid redux. I bought a new orchid, set it on the windowsill, watered it immediately. Caption draft formed. Replanted in fresh soil. Thanks for staying for the whole watering cycle. I hit post, closed laptop. The storm wasn't fully over, class action prep loomed, but the eye had passed. And inside its stillness, I heard something rare, my own breath, unaccompanied by pings or apologies. Looking back now, I see that therapy can't fix a liar, but truth can bankrupt one. And sometimes the loudest revenge is a weekend of silence while their empire crumbles echo-free. I never pictured myself in a boardroom with 20 strangers opening laptops to a slide titled Lane v. Everyone She Scammed. Yet on a rain-slick Wednesday in March, that's exactly where I sat. Maya's class action kickoff felt like jury duty crossed with a TED Talk. Ex-clients in mismatched suits, a Washington Post reporter scribbling, and me at the head of the table because I was lead plaintiff A. I'd worn my sharpest blazer, but my stomach wore ice skates. Maya clicked to the first slide, Serena's LinkedIn headshot, now watermarked unlicensed in red, gasps rippled. "We have 42 plaintiffs in 3 states, Maya began. Damages range from $1,000 mindfulness packages to a $12,000 destination proposal rehearsal. Eyes darted to Jonah's empty chair at the back. He'd supplied extra screenshots, but chose not to join. Corporate exile suited him. When Maya laid out the litigation timeline, motions, discovery, depositions, my chest tightened again. A year minimum. I whispered to Harper, now Plaintiff D, "Ready to spend next Christmas talking about subpoenas?" She smirked. "I already ordered a legal Grinch sweater." Hollywood won't wait. That evening, Silverline Studios emailed a polished lookbook for Booked for One. Actor mock-ups, Tuscan vineyard shots, a tagline I hadn't approved. She canceled her husband, then booked the world. I cringed. They wanted my sign-off by Friday to shop at Netflix Pitch Fest. Powell flagged red lines, but the money, low 7 figures, could fund whole shelters. Moral calculus got messy. I called Dr. Lee. "If I sell my story, am I capitalizing on pain?" She countered. "Or converting pain into protection? Intention is currency." I slept on it poorly. The Jonah variable. Friday dawn poured nickel-gray light. Jonah texted, "Final condo transfer recorded. Can I drop off remaining boxes?" My thumb hovered. Boundaries allowed logistics. "Leave them with concierge 4 p.m., he replied, thumbs up. Simple, sterile. At 3:45 p.m. the concierge buzzed. Boxes delivered, and a padded envelope labeled for Riley, "Read when ready." I left it sealed. That night Target sent sales data. Self-love snack packs ranked 1 in seasonal snacks. Corporate wanted evergreen placement. Celebration fizzled when I thought of Serena's victims who couldn't even pay therapy bills. I donated my February royalties, $38,000, to Safe Minds. Posted receipt quietly. Envelope of echoes. Sunday rain drummed roof like distant applause. Curiosity finally pried open Jonah's envelope. Inside, his wedding band, a flash drive, and a handwritten note. "Riley, Dr. Felix suggested I share my full audio journals, every therapy session, including the moment Serena admitted forging degrees. If they help the lawsuit, use them. Selling the condo freed cash. I've prepaid 6 months' rent for the shelter you sponsor. Thank you for forcing me to meet myself. Jonah." I plugged the drive into encrypted laptop. Folders labeled by date. I played one clip from the week before Tuscany. Serena, laughing. "Once the divorce papers drop, we'll pitch our love story to travel brands. From coaching to couple goals." Jonah, hesitant. "What if Riley exposes us?" Serena, "We'll call her vindictive. Internet loves a crazy ex-wife narrative." I stopped, nauseous but validated. Evidence gold. I forwarded to Maya. Public hearing, private dread. 2 weeks later, state regulator scheduled a public disciplinary hearing on Serena. I agreed to testify via Zoom, saves mileage on nerves. Day of, I wore calming teal, clutched geode like a stress ball. Serena appeared on camera from Costa Rica, hair beachy, no coat. The board asked for credentials. She cited alternative psychosomatic apprenticeship in Bali. They asked for a license number. She stalled, then blamed patriarchal red tape. The board chair raised an eyebrow. My turn. I stated facts, forged degrees, PayPal invoices, Tuscany script. Played the crazy ex-wife narrative clip. Serena's face froze, then disconnected. Hearing paused, board voted. Cease and desist from any therapy-adjacent service in the U.S., $100K fine, criminal fraud referral. Chat blew with applause emojis. Aftermath resonance. Victims group chat exploded. "We did it!" Leo dropped confetti gifs. Someone suggested a podcast, another a wellness scam watchdog site. purpose snowballed. Hollywood timing, that same day Silverline sweetened terms, more creative control, mental health PSAs inserted. Dr. Lee smiled. Sounds like narrative reclamation. I signed. Unexpected bloom. Spring equinox, sunlight finally lingered past 7 p.m. I replaced my orchid graveyard with a row of thriving succulents, harder to kill. Posted photo. Survivor plants water weekly, thrive quietly. Comments warm. Jonah's final restitution landed, a wire memo for therapy you deserved. I forwarded to Safe Minds. Then I texted him for the first time in weeks. Payment received. I wish you healing. He replied, grateful, goodbye for now, maybe forever. Full circle panel. 3 months post-expose, I keyed into a University of Washington auditorium. Their psych department hosted me and Dr. Morales for a talk, influencer ethics and mental health misinformation. Standing ovation from grad students felt surreal. Afterwards, a woman approached, tears shining. My mom booked a fake grief coach. Your story saved her thousands. Worth every sleepless night. Final scene. One evening, I watched Mount Rainier blush pink from my balcony, script draft open. Protagonist Riley confronts fake therapist in Tuscany but chooses self. Art imitating healed life. Harper popped champagne to celebrate our option deal. Leo toasted the class action certification. Serena settling for $2.4 million, bulk to plaintiff's fund. I sipped, felt peace settle like sunset. I posted a silent reel, just the skyline, rain turning to gold caption. Sometimes the shrink is fake, but the growth is real. No hashtags needed, followers understood. Looking back now, I see the first red flag wasn't PayPal or role-play lines. It was me outsourcing my boundaries to hope. But boundaries, once rebuilt, can bankroll shelters, spark lawsuits, inspire TV, and most importantly, keep frauds out of the therapist's chair. And that self-care squad concludes this 6-month saga. Not with a wedding in Tuscany, but with a class action settlement, a network show, and a balcony full of succulents that, swear to God, I remember to water. If you've never seen your own trauma turned into a color-coded production schedule, trust me, there's no Hallmark card to prepare you. One April morning, Silverline Studios flew me to Lowe's Angels for the booked for one writer's room kickoff. I walked into a converted warehouse where my spa check-in nightmare was pinned to corkboards like a detective scene. Act beats, emotional arcs, even shade swatches for the lobby set. A post-it on the Tuscany storyboard read, "Insert proposal rehearsal cringe here." I laughed so hard the showrunner thought I was crying. Between donut breaks, I answered writers' questions. Did Jonah's cologne shift before each fake session? What song played during the Zoom ambush? They wanted scented authenticity. Every answer forced me to retaste the moments bitter, then oddly empowering. Art did what therapy couldn't, made my chaos feel editable. Lunch break, the producer Calvin pulled me aside. Jonah signed the release form, says he's donating his fee to mental health causes. My eyebrows nearly escaped my forehead. He wants a redemption subplot, Calvin added, half grimace. I sipped La Croix. Reality gets first refusal on redemption, I said. The writer's room applauded. Class action steamroll. Back in Seattle, Maya pressed the accelerator. 42 plaintiffs ballooned to 80 after BuzzFeed ran a follow-up titled Fake Shrink Fallout. She segmented claims, fraud, emotional distress, unauthorized medical advice. Serena's Costa Rica retreat posted a GoFundMe for legal oppression, but donations stalled when users asked for her license number. Deposition prep began. My living room turned into DocuSign Central. Dr. Lee cautioned, reliving deposition details may reopen wounds. Pair every prep session with self-soothing. I paired them with Ben and Jerry. At the first depot, Serena's lawyer, slick, hair like granite, tried to shift blame. Ms. Morgan, did you ever explicitly ask my client if she was licensed? I answered calmly. Her website displayed PsyD. When I buy eggs labeled organic, I don't verify the chicken's diary. Maya smirked, stenographer snorted. The Jonah conundrum, redux. One rainy Tuesday, Jonah emailed an RSVP. Final mediation May 12. I'm ready to close the chapter. Attached. A selfie with his new therapist, actual license certificate in background, and a signed oath to speak on our panel at UW about male vulnerability. I forwarded to Maya. She flagged it, encouraging but legally irrelevant. Internally, a tug-war resumed. Part of me admired his steady restitution, another part replayed Tuscany vows. Dr. Lee labeled it residual empathy doesn't equal reunion. Still, empathy creeps. Brand turbulence. Just when snack packs stabilized on shelves, FDA announced new allergen labeling rules for processed turkey. My ops lead Nora texted me 7 skull emojis. Reformulation required a different binding agent, threatening our turkey cone identity. Retailers gave us 6 weeks to comply. During a panicked Zoom, Harper suggested pivot, rebrand as Truth Bites plant-based, Betrayal is universal, not carnivore. Leo whipped up soy protein prototypes within days, surprisingly tasty. We pitched Target as cruelty-free comfort for the romantically betrayed. Buyer loved the headline, cheat-proof and chick-safe. Crisis spun to upgrade. Serena's counterstrike. Late April, Serena posted a Medium essay. I was canceled by a copywriter, the untold truth. She claimed our Zoom panel edited her words, accused Jonah of grooming her. Medium flagged inaccuracies but left it up. Comments got ugly, death threats both directions. Powell advised radio silence, Maya filed defamation cross-claim. My anxiety spiked. Every new article meant fresh trolls. One night at 2 a.m., I scrolled hateful DMs until my pulse raced. I tossed phone, cried in shower. Waffles pawed the door. I remembered Dr. Lee's reminder. Off-grid hours are non-negotiable. I set downtime modes, slept with phone in kitchen like a misbehaved child. A breath of good. May 1, Safe Minds cut ribbon on their new trauma recovery wing, plaque reading, funded by Truth Bites community. I toured pastel rooms, met women escaping coercive therapists masquerading as lovers. One hugged me sobbing. For the first time, the saga felt tangibly worth it. I filmed a discreet TikTok, no faces, sharing the ribbon moment. It hit 4 million views. Comments, real activism beats algorithms. Sponsors flooded back. A stationery brand offered collab on boundary journals. I said yes. Mediation day. May 12 arrived bright and cruel. Conference room, Jonah, his lawyer, Powell, Maya, me. They slid final divorce decree. Uncontested, condo already mine, equal debts he absorbed, monthly charitable restitution locked till 2032. Jonah spoke, Riley, I'll testify against Serena without trying to fix us. My therapist calls it making amends, not requests. I nodded, throat tight, paperwork signed. 6 years concluded with pen strokes. Outside the building, cherry blossoms shed like confetti. Jonah and I stood awkward. He handed me a tiny terracotta pot, baby pothos. For the succulent's extroverted cousin, he said. I managed a smile. We hugged 1 Mississippi, 2, and stepped in opposite directions. Writers' room revisions. Back in LA, the showrunner loved the plant detail. Finale shot, Riley 2 watering balcony jungle. She floated a casting idea, Haley Steinfeld for me, Andrew Garfield for Jonah. I chuckled, too handsome, but sure. Network exec suggested spicing Serena into a seductive con artist antihero. I objected. We compromised. Fictional Serena gets a backstory, but consequences stay heavy. Authenticity clause triumphs. Class action climax. Early June, Serena's counsel folded, settled for $3 million, admission of unlicensed practice, 10-year ban on mental health services. Plaintiffs split payouts after legal fees, $400K earmarked for national verification database. We celebrated on Zoom, virtual toast screens clinking. I posted update, case closed, victims funded, scam prevented. Comments cheered. One troll wrote, bet you kept the bag. I replied once, I kept receipts, gave victims bags. Mic drop. Plant and peace. Summer solstice. My balcony overflowed with succulents and that baby pothos, now thriving. I brewed lavender tea, no crisis aftertaste. Harper and Leo came over for grill night. We laughed about how Zoom backgrounds gave us PTSD. Leo handed me a custom NFT of the wilted orchid photo turned neon art. Proof you grew past decay, he joked. I listed it. Proceeds auto-donate to Safe Minds. That night, alone under string lights, script pages scattered, I realized the residual empathy for Jonah had cooled into cordial memory. He attends men's group, sends quarterly donation proofs, and stays a respectful distance, exactly where he belongs. Looking back, part 5 of my saga didn't explode with fresh betrayal. It forged infrastructure. Class action funds, licensing databases, plant care habits, a TV series contract, all routes ensuring fraud can't regrow easily. Revenge matured into resilience. Tomorrow I fly to New York for upfronts. Network execs parade next season's shows. Somewhere between champagne flutes and pitched one-liners, a billboard will tease, booked for one, based on a true story. I'll grin, sip seltzer, and tuck a mental note. Remember to schedule soil check for the pothos. Boundaries need watering, too. Because the shrink was fake, the fiancé was fake. Even the pity sometimes felt fake, but the growth, unmistakably real. And unlike orchids, this story no longer wilts under neglect. It photosynthesizes every shard of sun or spotlight it gets. I always wondered what the opposite of imposter syndrome felt like, when the world finally recognizes you as the expert on your own chaos. Turns out it looks like this. Sitting in a midtown Manhattan green room, hair curled by a stylist who keeps calling you boss. While a giant screen behind the stage flashes booked for one new series 2026, and hundreds of ad buyers sip champagne that costs more than your first beater car. Upfronts day was a blur of handlers, step-and-repeat walls, and questions like, what scent should the lobby set diffuse to evoke betrayal? Answer, lavender, obviously. Between photo ops, showrunner Cal slid me the pilot script. I flipped to the final scene, TV Riley watering a thriving balcony jungle as the skyline glows. My chest tightened, in a good way. Writers had added a line I never said but wish I had. TV Riley, I can't change how the story started, but I own how it's archived. A surprise +1. Backstage, I heard my name. Jonah, clean-shaven, suit crisp but humble, stood at the entrance, holding a folder. My stomach fluttered, half nerves, half déjà vu. His email request to attend the launch had slipped through to Powell. She'd approved as long as boundaries held. He approached with measured steps. I'm not here to join the spotlight, he said quietly. Just wanted to hand you these. Inside the folder, a notarized declaration he'd testified for the licensing board, plus a personal essay titled, How I Mistook Role Play for Redemption. He had submitted it to Men's Health. They'd accepted for October print. I wrote it because owning my mess aloud might stop another guy, he said, voice steady. No mention of you by name. He offered a faint smile. Congratulations, Riley, you turned debris into draft copy. For the first time, pride sounded genuine, unhitched from apology. I thanked him, then nodded toward the exit. Enjoy the show anonymously. He respected the cue and left, folding into the crowd like a canceled cameo. Cameras, lights, and closure. On stage, Calvin hyped our series. Dr. Lee, now a paid consultant, spoke about ethical portrayal of mental health. My turn. I told the auditorium, the most important set piece we're building isn't a Tuscan villa. It's a clickable database where viewers can verify every therapist's license in real time. Applause thundered, but the best cheer came later when 3 networks pledged ad dollars to that very tool. Press line afterwards, a reporter asked, any regrets going so public? I answered truthfully, privacy protects wounds, publicity protects future victims. Soundbite traveled fast. The class action victory lap. Back in Seattle, settlement checks rolled out. Plaintiffs gathered in a quirky coffee shop to sign final receipts. Maya clinked mugs. We just set precedent unlicensed coaching as fraud per consumer protection statute. Each client filmed a 30-second PSA, funded by payout, sharing one red flag they'd ignored. We stitched them into a TikTok series, views past 15 million, DMs flooded with I just canceled my fake guru. Serena pleaded no contest to felony fraud, sentenced to 18 months house arrest in California, banned from paid coaching. Her GoFundMe closed at $412 before donors demanded refunds. Plant-powered pivot. June brought our reformulated plant-based Truth Bites launch. New slogan, 0 animals harmed unless you count your ex's ego. Target through a tasting tour. Shoppers lined up for selfies with me and Waffles, now official mascot in a lettuce leaf bandana. Sales exceeded turkey version. Revenue allowed Safe Minds to pilot Project Verify, a free Chrome extension that flags unlicensed credentials on therapy websites. Leo coded it, Harper brand styled. I filmed a goofy tutorial with dancing succulents. Within a month, Chrome store downloads hit 50K. A ping from Tuscany. Midsummer, an email titled Borgo dei Fiori partnership proposal landed in my inbox. It was the same Tuscan villa Jonah once reserved. They'd read the trade coverage and offered to host a self-healing writer's retreat for the show's staff at half rate, gratis for me. I felt the universe wink. I forwarded to Calvin, "If we film there, don't forget the lavender scent budget." Final mediation, forgiveness signed. September marked 1 year since I booked Jonah's first fake therapy session. Dr. Lee suggested a symbolic closure ritual. I chose a notary office overlooking Elliott Bay. Jonah and I met to sign the Acknowledgement of Restoration, a legal form Powell drafted affirming no outstanding claims or emotional debts. Before signing, Jonah slid a Polaroid across the table, a thriving pothos, clippings of the baby he'd gifted, now serpentined across his new apartment wall. Captions scribbled, growth logged weekly. Thanks for the root cuttings. No ask, no hint of reunion, just evidence of responsible care. I smiled, signed. Ink dried, gate officially locked, but garden on both sides growing. Opening night, open heart. October premiere at Downtown Cinema. Cast, crew, Dr. Morales, Dr. Lee, class action plaintiffs, Safe Minds directors, everyone walked a teal carpet. Lavender felt too on the nose. I wore a jumpsuit the color of a healthy pothos. The audience laughed at the crazy ex-wife narrative scene, cheered when TV Riley launched the Zoom ambush, and teared up during the balcony watering finale. End credits rolled over a link to Project Verify. QR codes lit phones like fireflies. Backstage, Calvin whispered, "Netflix greenlit season 2. I exhaled joy and relief. Harper popped travel-size Prosecco. Leo filmed waffles doing a celebratory spin. Quiet after the quake. Weeks later, my life resembled a calm spreadsheet. Dr. Lee reduced sessions to monthly check-ins. My plants thrived. I even adopted an orchid and watered it on schedule. Safe Minds named a therapy scholarship in my honor for whistleblowers needing treatment. One crisp Sunday, I brewed lavender tea. I actually like it now. Curled on my balcony and drafted the final entry of the divorce launch roadmap, now retitled Rebirth Roadmap. Story optioned, heavy check mark. Class action resolved, heavy check mark. Personal peace attained greater or equal to 80%. Fluctuating, but trending upward. Remember, boundaries equals daily vitamin. I posted a photo, balcony garden glowing at golden hour, orchid in focus. Caption: 1 year ago today, I booked therapy for a marriage. Turned out I booked freedom for myself. Water accordingly. Epilogue, the email that didn't shake. On the anniversary night, my phone buzzed, unknown sender, subject, thank you. It was a man named Greg, one of Serena's earlier clients who'd stayed silent. He wrote that Project Verify flagged another coach he'd started seeing. He canceled, got real therapy, and reconciled with his partner. Your chaos became my caution sign, he ended. I closed the email, lungs filling with clean October air. For the first time, I felt the opposite of imposter syndrome. Builder's calm, confidence that my lived mess built guardrails for strangers. Looking back, I thought the biggest twist was uncovering a fake shrink. But the real twist was discovering that, when you cut dead roots, you don't just save yourself, you clear soil for an entire garden of others. Story archived, boundaries watered, spotlight dimmed. Time to brew more tea and outline season 2, because if life insists on writing plot twists, I'm committed to editing them into purpose. Subscribe to my Mia's Stories YouTube channel for raw, emotional stories and authentic insights that encourage healing, growth, and understanding. Don't forget to be part of a supportive space where stories inspire and lessons resonate. What do you think about this story? Let us know in the comments. Your opinion truly matters to us, and we're here for you.